Joining us now is Jeff Cooley from Cooley Darling Insurance, a longtime AVIXA partner and one of the industry's most trusted voices when it comes to risk management. So great. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
How are you doing? I know you've been to a couple of these, just a few.
Doing great. Yeah, this is my 24th.
Oh wow!
So
Wow.
it would be my silver anniversary if not for 2020. So I started in Anaheim in 2000. So
Okay.
I've been coming to Infocom ever since.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
You've got about 20 on me, so I'm going to work my way up there.
Amazing.
Yeah, so as you were just saying, you've been in the AV industry for so long, over 30 years. So what makes risk management in this industry so unique?
Yeah, and I start by saying, I mean, I'm incredibly passionate about AV. It's something that I decided long ago I was going to spend a lot of time in, almost as much time as I do in insurance, really because I felt like serving this community, this industry segment, I had to be equally knowledgeable in both. So I think what makes it most most complex really is the fact that AV is embedded in every facet of modern life, from education, healthcare, entertainment, manufacturing. So it's everywhere, and it's moving constantly. It's constantly changing. So the speed of that change creates a lot of complexity and a lot of risk. So our job is to help those companies understand what their risks are, prioritize them, and then manage them moving forward. I think another part of this really is the diversity of the players. A AV integrator is a lot different than a live event production company, which is a lot different than an installer. So we have to make sure that we understand those different industry segments and that we're helping our insurance carriers tailor coverage appropriately so that we're helping companies protect their valuable equipment, their people, and then the general public as well, because we all interact with AV very intimately in a lot of cases.
Very much.
Yeah, and a topic that I know our viewers will be, it's a really hot topic right now, is around economic pressures. So, like tariffs and rising equipment costs. How is that impacting AV insurance for AV companies?
Yeah, it's real. What costs $100,000 today could cost $150,000 tomorrow. And so we're really urging our customers and really customers across the AV industry to have a conversation with their broker to make sure their policies are structured in a way that limits valuation clauses. Some of this isn't going to make sense, but it will to your broker. Limits valuation clauses are adequate for the current environment. And that your insurance policy is breathing with your organization. And breathing, I really mean that. As you expand, your insurance policy should as well. So we're asking folks to, particularly since a lot of AV equipment is imported, we're telling people to really understand their supply chain. Where is that AV equipment coming from? And are those countries affected by tariffs? And then really finding out whether or not manufacturers can help them by changing that production or shifting that production to countries where it isn't a problem. And so all of that is part of what we do and what my industry does is to help them understand the current environment and then how their insurance policy is going to work with them and for them. And one point I wanted to bring up too, part of what we do, I think that is really, really important is teaching the insurance industry about the AV industry.
Right.
Because we've long fought some deep-seated preconceived notions about what AV really is. And so it's important for us to go back, take that knowledge back to the insurance industry and make sure they're tailoring coverage so that it responds when it matters most.
And I think it's really important that you're giving that information to them. And it seems like there's just so much information and things to know. What common gaps are you seeing in how AV companies are actually approaching risk and other things that they may not have even thought about?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing we see is that insurance is enough. And it really isn't. Insurance is great, coverage matters, but loss prevention or risk control is far more valuable. So, we're asking folks to really take a look at what it is that what it is that keeps them up at night. Those risks that are out there, and to involve people, professionals, whether it's in the AV industry and the insurance industry, to help them prioritize those, or identify them, prioritize them, and then manage them again. We're also seeing a lot of cyber liability and professional liability that's lacking right now. All are relevant to AV, and all are really underappreciated right now. So I think those are the big things. Again, insurance isn't enough. I mean, you want to spend time managing that risk, and that'll save you in the long term.
So what would you say proactive steps should AV professionals be taking right now to stay protected in this changing market?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think understanding, having a conversation early with their broker, with their insurance professional, to make sure that they understand coming changes in price and coverage, so that they're not caught off guard, particularly when it comes to excess liability. So excess or umbrella liability, insurance carriers are really dropping back on that. They're really doing away with some of that coverage, or eliminating it altogether. So that's very important. We also think it's a really good time to test the market. Ask your insurance broker or your provider to go out into the marketplace. It's a good opportunity to either validate your current approach, or to find or uncover new options that might be more competitive. And then finally, we're really just, again, back on that. I hate to harp on this, but back on that risk management. So identify those risks. Don't stop just at insurance. Know what your risks are. Know how they can impact you long term, and then find a professional that can help you manage them.
I really appreciate you coming here and having this conversation with us. It's not one of our traditional, AV type of conversations, but I think it's really important for organizations to have this knowledge and information. And we love to leave our viewers with some key takeaways. So can you give us your top 3 risk management tips and share that with our audience?
Yeah, sure. So we're nothing if we're not a resource. And so it's very important for me to convey that I'm available to the AV industry. That's part of my commitment to AVIXA. Having been in a relationship with them as long as I have, it's wildly valuable to me. And so part of my commitment is to help AV customers or businesses that aren't necessarily our customers. So the first part is have a plan. Understand what keeps you up at night, what your worst case scenario is. Model that and understand how you would approach that if it happens, and involve people that have seen it before, whether it's on the insurance side or AV side. Involve those people that have seen that have been through it before. We also preach people before property. You can insure both, but people are a lot harder to replace. And so we keep your people safe, have them trained and protected. And then the last piece is really find an advisor who is a partner and not just a vendor. Someone who's vested in the long-term outcome of your business. That's important, particularly in these turbulent times.
Wonderful. Well, you've definitely been
Brilliant.
a great advisor for AVIXA, and thank you so much for all that you do supporting the AV industry. We really appreciate it, and thanks
My
for
pleasure.
being with us today.
Thank you.